Okay, could you please tell us your name?
Tading Choekyi.
His Holiness the Dalai Lama asked us to record your experiences so that we can share your memories with many generations of Tibetans, Chinese, and people around the world. Your memories are going to help us to document the true history, culture, and beliefs of the Tibetan people. Do you give permission for the Tibet Oral History Project to use this interview? During the interview, if you want to take a break at any time, just let us know, okay? And if there's any question you would rather not answer, that's fine. Okay, could you please start by describing some of your earliest memories as a child growing up in Litang?
Didi chinju kanlan herali yebe kanlan ta uchiju sondan tik zem ziyardan dinde gi mato shimba shira gi ke sam khoya se amara na
thara tis deshe na
bu mang yor bu mang bunyon doliya ta zem zi inde cheje zem tama de ze yorang de pebe gi zem tama de tv ja so wa ji India
My earliest, recounts is like of childhood. As many children, we used to play different games such as skipping and hopscotch and something like that.
And what was it like growing up in your family?
Namunyindo tano chindi kananda ta susu pama ni chili na juna amla tesi katabro chore te pala pe chambuchi chini sikti duja la ngwa re pe chambuchi na ma che pala ka re chi amla tesi she te tangri te chu chera.
Growing up, my mother used to scold me sometimes. She was quite strict, and my dad was sweet-tongued, and he never scolded us. So I was really more attached to my father.
Were your parents very religious?
No.
Amla pala da amla chela shoes thona yore.
Children yore. Chuje chembure koran.
Of course, they are very concerned about religion. Our entire family was very concerned and very serious about religion.
So what kind of religious activities did you see in the home as a child growing up?
Amla ta nangla cheko la khare khande lega khande do chigire. Ta shabden do.
Shabden ji do nimeji nga chinju ji kan shabden ji ni gumba ji la chaba mangu tendishu soana tendishu cho yuang na cho inde mangu shan shabden che soa. Ni shabden che ne cho di ine jumba kinje changlo le ya ga du che shabden cha sona. Nde kan ta bu bu chinju song zang cho sa ya ga cho na ji nga ma dan de yo wa da ji. Nde sa shabden nde che soa.
When I was young, I have this recollection that many monks from a nearby monastery were invited to our home for doing prayers and chants, shabde. And then we had chok, which was we had offerings after
to the guru.
And then they would give it around to all our neighbors.
All the sweets,
and different things to eat. So I personally liked it because there was a lot of sweet things to eat in the so.
And what kind of values did you feel you learned from your parents? Spiritual values.
The amlagi pala the amlagi the nangchuk wala khande dos the chalong chino khande khari khari labs the yaga di duga di khande dos labs.
Ta khasore tiwasa jo mari sungre ta bang ju buse bola da so chi yor wala inde chenyu yo mares je cheni tiwashra yores to sa yo mares mil chari jo inde ngaje chimbuche inde duja che yo mares inde labje te grin ju chu la ta ta go yores shira nga chinju kan shu tingin do.
I don't recollect much, but they asked us not to commit any sins. As for example, don't kill the insects or don't get into fights. And don't fight with other kids, be harmonious with them and something like that, of that advice.
Did you go to school?
I'm like, Chinju, lopta do you know?
Come lapta do you? Chinju and it's no good ya Lhasa ya nganju nanji yorta Andrugtsang. Did you no good na kuchu did and the lapta tanswa Lhasa. Come ya did you can the motor that in the chi or my repeat. Tadi can the younger tower come in Lhasa to tower soon goes wa gunga no chitangan. Tadi can the younger.
Well, I didn't attend school in Kham because I was young. We came from Kham to Lhasa when I was around 9 to 10 years old.
Okay.
There were no cars around then, so we came in horse carriages, and it took us around 3 months in winter to come to Kham to Lhasa.
Cold.
Very cold.
So in Lhasa, our family had a home. And there I went to school.
Okay. So can you describe that journey a little bit? That 3-month journey? It sounds very difficult.
No.
I'm not the come to Lhasa to do Khande dos chungsta.
Nangalia da gungar wala. Namshi Tamushta che any yan some Nimayo Tindugana. Then you may check out in the Taya we used in the Chuya we used in the Lia, you may check out the desert in Yasujam. Because in Tadi to Lechi Tasayada, and Mizunde, Kalakawarwal, and Tinsian Sujo, and Tinu de Tejanangalia tus in Horshi, but Tadi can a young dirty. Tadi can you do this numshi tongue which and tongue and this Kawachumatashi, Jiburuchosota.
The only problem was it was very cold. So sometimes when it was sunny, we would rest in the nearby places where there were grass and fresh water, for all the people to recover, even for the horses to recover and drink water and eat grass. Every day, otherwise it was everyday travel, and mostly it was difficult because of the very cold weather.
Can you describe your house in Lhasa, your new house? And where was it in relationship to the Potala, perhaps you can say, and what kind of house was it?
Amla the Lhasa nana nang the dishes nana, and nang dita Potala gita kisi peshana Potala dam nindam la yore khawado shure.
Potala nindam ran mare. Tinepa kilometer ni sumji yujuri peche. Dich nang le.
Khawale.
Tang tho chang khai na khanshi.
And nang dishe gana nang khande do shure.
Nang tang khamba ta thozo sumdo chi che khara che ani nang chimbu yore da. Andu jidang Lhasa la chongje gorwala chongje pa jaal chongje re ma chamdung wala chongje re tajundung gon ma chongje kanche chongje bjeti re no ngandul lapta ta swati de.
I don't exactly recall the direction from Potala, but it was around 2 to 3 kilometers from Potala.
Okay.
And we had it was a very grand and huge house, that around 3 floors. Since we did business, we were businessmen, and we did business to India and Chamdo and various parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and that time I was going to school.
Okay. Can you tell me the kind of school you went to?
Amla de lopta lobjung chisa de khande dabu shure. Lopta khande shure.
Lopta de lopta ming dia nangsha sa nangsha lopta.
Narangsha.
Nangsha. Narangsha sir Narangsha.
Narangsha.
Ani lopta ken la chimbu chora ken chimo de umji chimbu de shi. Nga lopta du tu lo shipchu chimbre sungu do ken la. Yana umji chen pembe umji pembe se kar chimbu de ya. Da chen pu chi chi shangani.
It was called Narangsha or Narangsha, the school, and our sort of chief teacher or headmaster was a very famous Tibetan doctor. And he told me that the school has been established for 40 years.
How many children were there?
Peji lapta peji
Two shimba khazus.
jago yujurda.
Yeah,
Jala sujure.
more than 100 students.
The dina lia kaso lapta chumbe bu yori kana jingi minyam jung bu yori yang buda mi chambu de bu yori kanga yori lapta.
You know,
There were people from different backgrounds, such as businessmen, Kuda, and assorted people.
Okay, we don't know much about the education system in pre-1959 Tibet. So, could you describe like a typical day at school for you? From the morning to what you did when you arrived?
Things are lopta de kola, lopta ha kola anzo shida hago marwa. Chesa anzo kisi peshane ta nimachik lopta la khanderish yuna deshish nana.
Ai shoge no dore. Shoge ngabu peji ta nam betum sema sen dosh ngabune. No chi labda chi. Labda chi ne shoge shendu zu. Shendu zu arba zanjar de chewre shendu zu. Shendu peji ta chizu chiklaya de zu me do ta shendu labda kanga zom de chende shendu zu. De shendu de tu chan chu rual. E de ni so so na chi so na shoja breakfast saga tu. Na de na pa tu sil hasal phago je tu pa kor jen pa to ba peji kilometer. Kse chine. Chik ta chaga zu yuta na ba do peji tanga yo tak lep tu mi do. Ani pachi pege breakfast shoja ta zamba ta de zang shoja se ni sha ja zu yong ni la da ran ja zu yong ku shi. Ani ngu ba do ani su su lo jung che ya khari ne ti ge le zang khari ne ti lo jung ti cha ngu ta lang chi ba do ti ge chang ge de ku shi. De ne ya ngu khala da ya na pa khala sa chi. De ne ya yan jo Chela di ta chizu chik si yuri beje khala bre ti jene yan chu labda yo ne konda chizu shiba ngaba zama du chu mare ti chang chu
Ani di thado an lobsen do khande do shurta. The lobjung chigib na khande do lobsen like.
ta labje ngandu ta labda nga thangu je du kane jangshing do ane shin jangshing ga le ya ani ti chire karasare Bobra suru chi yo ta ka chi de ti je ka tango ka de ti che en de se mi ji gi de lo ne la wa ju ni la wa ma ju en tango te de se ma sala ta la na ro se je ne la wa ne ju je tu ska de ma ti gan ti na tango de sik o tu ti de ji ti ni me ni su ji de ti ju ta di ti sa so ne di gan le yan karso nakza susu di tisha yo diga nakza diga mo je tius inde je de o ji ya cha so na ani susu ani ti cha karso re di kabita so yo wal peta sa da sa kaga gwan tu diga ne di kabita ani susu ti u ji jangshing de ti tu ti je ti e ti cha so cha san kami su ta ma di ti cha ra ani kyan la za cham bi shi e gyala ge dilia no chu karina mandi karina ti che chepsna da ti indi chi ur sungurwa da di ti sa sona din rabu ji ngarange ma shugur da de shu ti kan ti o din se 당부 이친부 되겠지. 아니 야구 차서는 양한테 이때 충분다. 안되네 야구 차서는 아니 이 친주제 두스가냐 방림센 두스스. 아니 장신간 시 장신디 신디간데 상만 야구제 차서는 대슈구간 주야. 되게 딱딱 야구지. 제 투부 차서는.
So we used to go to school early morning, which was mostly before sunrise. And after we reached school, there was prayers for, I think, almost an hour or more. After that, we had to leave home for breakfast, and we had to walk all across Bharkor to my home, which was around 1.5 kilometers approximately. Then at home we would eat samba or any other regular breakfast. Then we had a break for around 1 hour to eat our breakfast. Then we came back and studied till noon. Then we had to go back again home for lunch, which again we had a lunch break for around 1 hour. Then for around 4 to 5 p.m. our classes got over. And in detail what we usually learned was, when we were younger, we had the wooden planks, wooden boards, which were covered with chalk, and on that somebody would hold our hands and make us write the alphabets, the Tibetan alphabet, the 30 alphabets, and this continued for 2 to 3 days, and this is in the very beginning. And after that, when we had a rough idea of how to write the characters, then we dipped the pens in ink. And then after some time more experience, then we used to copy from a sample. Then after we've written the entire 30 alphabets, then we would show them to the teacher for review, and the teacher would show us that this is wrong, this is right, and he would tell us to improvise. Then again we would write it, and finally, if we were good enough, we would graduate to paper. And even the letters used to be big first. Then as you improve, the letter also goes smaller. We write in a smaller handwriting.
Okay.
어디 정신 가는데다 이게 전부 everybody 소문라디 가가강 차서는 아니 양되네요. 야따라다 세리기 부재한데 요런데 양들의 충지 안되네 마 충지 안저 이 정신 가는 야구 차서는 아니 쉬부강 되고. 슈간 라고 인지냐지 되고다. 상가. 완전 테스트야 말아. 수수도 그럼 리데 댄스 수수도 치고.
슈구 라방할 킬죠.
슈구 라방한 킬.
방레도 요 말아.
그래서 방이 요 말이. 또 슈구 좀 써라. 안데 표셔야 베베 슈구. 티베틴 페퍼 소라. 인데 시 슈간 인데. 슈구디안 테스 착다를 쇼다. 인도 시 티스 인데 티게. 인디 티도안데. 인디간데 나츠나 고츠 안한저 bamboo 디어라 pen 디 뉴스 아니 디가네 아니 슈가 디디랑 두 치우르 데 천신데 리가 디어마르게 나티 엔틴데 카제티 준데 티티.
Before we graduated to paper, we also had to write other verbs and vowels and other things, and then only we would graduate to using Tibetan paper, which was like Tibetan scrolls. It was thick paper. And we didn't have any desk or anything like that, so we used to sit cross-legged on the floor, and we would fold the paper so that it would form lines on it, and then we would take it in hand and then dip our bamboo pens in ink, and then we would start writing our Tibetan alphabets.
No.
So, did you, after you learned writing and reading, did you study any other subjects?
I'm not 피 익수체 아니 로야디 신사도 하나네 셴바 롭센데 장여래
셴바 롭센 근도 찌데 장여 페베기 찌야 요래 찌게
페베지게
안지 장여 다 안지 장여 nga 주주라 마소안 마체다 년리야 디에 디야 알레 장신간의 디야리야 데스고로 알로
장신간 제로 가져스 코스
장신간 디야 데베지 로지도 거의 지단 장신간의 이체 당고 첨부지 되냐만 중대 내 주주지 이제 And the shoe gun pagrual.
The shoe on the local is exutiedi.
The shoe on the peloni soon change.
Sum.
And it's sick. Laviagi tandang around to divine net casoreta, divide chair, the Matan, Chichensa Jora, the baby cutting priorities, Jaya. Tijayanga to Juramasa. And she can only a nevolia towards it and nevolia. That all she's a chain and let's see.
So, for a year, we used to write on the wooden planks. Then I practiced my writing, handwriting on paper for around 2 to 3 years. And then what we had to learn was maths. And we had this sort of an equipment where I could learn how to divide, multiply. It was a Tibetan system. It was not like the Chinese abacus. No. It was something small with our Tibetan numbers on it, and we would learn how to divide and multiply using that. But the thing is that I was in school for around 4 years, and after that I had to go for a pilgrimage. So I was not able to learn maths.
Okay. But so after your pilgrimage, you didn't go back to school?
아니 네코디 도스하나네 롭탑하 가진네 페메나.
Nepal to Masun Karasine, yet and Agula Andrugtsang Kumbushila Yorwala, Kuranta, the freedom for the leader church and do the Kundu Diniane, Patadi, Sarvan, and Zohago Marabu. And do Chilla Mare. And Chizang and do Negolia to do Tumble Kunyangale, the Lonjidong of the Kogak and the Jagashun Kundu in the Shunamase. Oh, to do Negolia to a Nego Chiswa. Then you never Nepal law to your mare. Tarasan Pigay Kunduta, the Molodia, the someone to teach and Kumbrahilata, Taranashi, Sumbi Yorata, Totemi, Temimologia teacher, Mandupa law to your mare. And Media Lertus.
So, when we came to India and we didn't know of that, our uncle Gonpo Tashi had so many plans for revolt. So after we came back pilgrimage, we couldn't actually go back.
And this was in 1959, huh?
1957.
1957?
No.
So you were 17?
Maybe. 17, 17, 15, 17.
15, okay. What was your understanding at that time, at the age of 17, before you came out of Tibet? What was your understanding about the rest of the world? What did you know about other countries and the history of what has happened in the rest of the world outside of Tibet?
America's in the Tading Choekyi Aduk, Bogan and the Codinu. That America Chimby in a bed. Looking what you do with the leg, or Tading Choekyi Aduk, the Chushi logging one with the leg, my resident, the teacher in the Yamaha and the Bogan. In the some regime, Shamba, something called Shira.
We didn't know much. We didn't hear of anything else much. We did hear of this country called America, United States of America, really far, far away. And they used to say that if you used to go when you were young, you would come back old. So the travel was really far away.
Very far away. Now, and this is quite
Had you heard of the Second World War? Had you heard of Adolf Hitler?
When she came to India, she heard so many things.
You heard when you came to India. But when you were in Tibet, you really didn't know anything really about the rest of the world.
No idea.
Okay.
We usually mind our own business, so we didn't know what everybody was doing.
And can you describe what Lhasa was like? Because you came to Lhasa in 1951, yes? So when you were 10 years old. So can you describe what Lhasa was like in those days?
Amla lochu indu khana ta chiknong gupyang apchu ngachik ler wal Lhasa. Thadu ta Lhasa khande da ushur ta. Deshes na.
Ta didu Lhasa ta karasore ta unya thane ge susu lumba jibu shidi kawachine chi susu guyango. Ani mi kawar tubi ne mi sangmalo ta karasore ta. Happy sore karasore. Mi sangmalo mi susu tirib chejem. Chik shidi ke gaproch ta susu chiolata. Kawachine shenache mo orsu be chik jibu shibu chik sa chiliya lero sorochi. Inde chona shungsanga bet. Ani tula khanda nje chulje shusama ngunde cheje be yaguchi toando.
So it was very peaceful. There were many white spaces, and everybody I met looked happy without any fears, and very content. And there were so many religious places to visit, such as the Potala, which was good.
So were you excited to move? Because there's a big difference from Lithang, yeah? Did you like your new place and the new setup?
Lithang da kheba shushoro wa. Ane da khande do sonan des da Lithang da Potala khare Lhasa Himala.
Lhasa da su kimnare chagdo ata nganzo pige Lithang di city ra mar nganzo ma village sorjiro wala. Thongse Fama ta nomit sirwa. Ni dire drogba ta singbare nganzo sajin chide su sajin chede ro. Ta ye ya lady kan ta lapta ro wala sa. Ani disongza numba khora be di khahar chi to be thi tasaliya. Kimnar changan pu chu ju sa ta ye kibru chi pu kan ya kimna shi bu chosang ra ra ta chi so da.
So, of course, we used to live in the Lithang Valley, which was not exactly a town or a city. So it was more like a village, and there were only the people were nomads and farmers. So from coming to Lhasa was like a totally different world. And there was as a child, seemed like a very fun place.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Did you have problems communicating because of the difference in language?
Lapton la manche hesa buro nga kham ya yong ro nge kham ge je ro ba nge sa buro nga chele te je ri da nanzo chele je ri tidu ga nga pe chibi shan chi yu mo shi chai do.
So when I used to go to the school in Lhasa, and all these other school kids were from Lhasa, and I would speak to them in Kham dialect, and they would tease me, and I would be very embarrassed to talk. I felt shy.
What kind of things did they say to you? Do you remember?
Ta Lhasa pu dun zo nye ko du khana khande do shle ta.
Khamge jam khunju ko min du sig do galne. So ta ke nge khamge je go ro. Khamge de ya tes khar jo ro wal. Ti chene khunju chele re chep je ro.
They sort of, because they didn't understand, so they used to just tease me.
No. Yeah, kids can be very mean.
No, yes, they're not. Teaching. Shemba ke kanya skim dine dawaji ni sumne na ke taran hesa ke na chadu.
It was not a big problem. After 2-3 months, my also dialect changed.
You change, yeah. Very quickly you do that, when you're a child. Can you describe any big public events that you attended in Lhasa in those days?
Amla Lhasa lata mimang gita korgyo ne chimbo de yer weta. Ta kesi chungyo ende.
Mimang kende.
Mimang ke tang do che ende. Lhasa la.
Monam, no?
Yo marwe.
Ma chondu de sko.
Chondu do chogyo.
Inde yiri de nga hago me dati.
It must be, but I don't know.
You don't know.
No.
Do you ever remember seeing His Holiness the Dalai Lama?
Amna jarmuche jegara yu thingide.
Ta jarmuche potalane ma molom ma me chuna chunangirwa. 이 폐장나는 피도와 디 수요일에는 이마한테는 디네 시군 근데 tudinjina sijidigin tije tomato channel.
Sometimes when His Holiness was coming out of the potala and in his palanquin, you could see from the side sometimes, not much.
Okay.
The rush usually the people very rushed.
Very rushing,
Yeah.
not easy to see. And when did you first notice, when you first came to Lhasa, were there Chinese people already in Lhasa?
Yes.
There were.
근데 Lhasa 페도 하나다 개미인데 도에 고야
Lhasa nga yungdu tangbu jemi nongdu ta langalia phailiya yunggu arwa. Langalia jemi zudu tevrusene ni tiba thapta jangshing kala seven jamungu yusha jemi zudu thoma sonrwa. Lhasa ranglia andu yundu ta ngap chukara nga. Chukale na ta. Lo gu chujindu ngap chukale na ta chiminja. Lhasa ranglia jemi shugole swa. 진주 당가이나 지용버스는 지기 마우두시 파르타 스탈리 서벨 스탈린 그니니 파르데 집인데 친구지간 되가네 게 아니 보달라요 와이나 가인다 아니 사 튕기스미도 아니 직 동전제 동전데 당제 아니 게 집을 접전에 연구도 와 대이네 미마마 제 가부치미도 재미 당골레도 되네
When I was traveling from Lithang to Lhasa, we didn't exactly see any Chinese, but we saw some things such as utensils and like some food items thrown away by the Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I'm not sure about the year, but they came much later. And from what I hear, they came. They
ngập chú khơi dậy nè, khơi lê để ngập chú khơi nè chín, thay sao rằng lê ngập chú ngắt rằng gì mình được cái gì
in 1950s, I'm not sure, but they came on a big jeep with like two big portraits of Mao and Stalin, and like they said they'd come to liberate, for liberation, and they were playing loud music, and but people then itself didn't like them so much. What I could feel.
And did you see them coming? Did you see the army, the Chinese army?
Mami thongerwa le dukhana.
I can't
exactly recall like if army was coming or not.
And what was your experience from that time before you left in 1959? What was how did the life of your family change, or did it change at all because of the Chinese presence in Tibet?
I'm not like the 직동 곱경 압중하고 일단 겸이든서 상례도 하는 출례도 하는 암라기다 낭미기다 미세디 컨데 교바 탭소
개미 딜레도 개미 다 간제 안주 배발이야 지금 누구 대녀를 지금 안주 그런 건도 직신하지 지기도 와들이야 지금 간주 배발로 지니 제스 성빈도 안 하면 간제 안주 배발이야 지 누구 대녀 지도 안주냐 다 당고도 계진년부로 셰나 마셔네 근데 누구 때문에 지리스 모두 배가 로고 지니리 3년 나는 좀 미나에 코토면도 아디 때문에 가르르세나 나 캄 명리야다 매 미나마 다주도 타바다 미타가 라마 계시 뭐 개미게니 다 등숨체네 탐진다 세반다 심도다 정말 좀 이제 망고 거대니마 신주근에 지다 캠버도 셰데 암저 거대라 지는 재미디 퉁드 가는 당한들 야고 진행지리 삼단 튕기매 그뒤니 이 뒷년에 거대로 안에 지는 좀다 이디다 디가도 하서 더는 미세단다 이 주주시 중요하다 만큼 문제한테 뭐 중요하게 재미있다 잡아고 봐 캠보니 되면 증승체 가시 탐진당 정한 주세 뭐 중요하다 근데 내 망고 거대로 알 디좀 재미있다 간쟁은 좀 자지다만도 편도신 이제 무슨 튕기면 회사 랍다 두디가네 예밀 찍어면 가르지는 거라 시기 걸어 재미다 박원한 루를 뭐 밑은 준다 폴리시티인데 방디제 이제 두디가네
박원한 루를 근데 루
말이 근데 루지 좀 깨좀 방데 대지 마음이 가고도 와고 그러신지 이제 두도
well to elaborate, like people were sort of very afraid they had this sense of fear, and even though they were sweet talking, they were like very talking very politely, they were doing a lot of things, but I didn't think that they would be helpful. And because maybe to Lhasa it was new, but we had known of this Chinese apprehending and imprisoning and even subjecting to tabzing many geishas in Kham. So even
they had that.
Yeah.
That
So even when I was
knowledge.
in school, I don't know why, but I didn't have a good feeling. I sort of didn't like them.
Mm-hmm. And did you have any personal interaction yourself with Chinese?
I'm not so gaming and the kejo shared on Yungswada.
당은도 랍타 두거라. 랍타 두두 기치도 가서. Children's days in the Miji Tangitwa. Chinese school, Tibet school together, cheche. They given so many sweets, biscuits, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Then they take army or Chinese people, they take 2 or 3 children's just take another in the, you know, and ask, your family Chinese good or bad? What your family said, they asked to me, you know. I didn't say anything.
They're asking what your family is saying about the Chinese.
I'm not
This said children's day, and the Putang Congo because she lapped us and gave me lapped a chore. Kidangan to be well lapped us. Pukango ruche, and it's cheese and them, tea is good in there. They gave me the tea part of the tea. Any canals on family in me, any Tungu Kondentang, Yago, Resido, Dujaresido, Carasidos, can bear into Carasidos, the sketchy tigoa. And on Lanka met Chicken makers and the Yamberton go tangle something. Chicken makers and come on to Shratata. This tea.
So from what I recall, like there was this Chinese school which was nearby. There the Chinese had this Children's Day where all the Chinese and the Tibetan school would celebrate it together. They would celebrate and they would distribute different sweets and biscuits.
It was called Children's Day.
Children's Day.
Okay.
And then some of them like in groups they would take and they would ask us about how our parents thought about the Chinese. Did they like them or like, you know?
Okay.
But I didn't answer. I was not swayed by the sweets because I didn't like them, so I didn't answer the questions.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any Chinese friends?
No, not at all. I didn't like the Chinese when I was in Lhasa. So since they had already inflicted so much trouble in Kham, so I didn't like them to begin with, even if they were smiley faced. But
same policy, you know,
the same people, same government.
Right. And so what were your parents telling you about the Chinese?
I'm like chemical kharis lagi thadu.
Ye pala amla khamli oral. Pala tuchu rini na chilia chana kong hop thole yung je gemi sim tidwa. Tuchu rini to ba ni me tuchu rini to ba ne resha.
Lo de chikton tu gya.
Chikton gu je tuchu ri dan na. Pala chana gu na ne yung ni gemi yung ko dong chen le ko da dong je na lo gemi yung pala sing sung chen na san ti ten da di je ma xie xie ti bi da. Da ti di da ni am la cha bu ma mu yo re. E ke ji ti nu mu do ka ti gi me ka ri che me. En da ji zi de sung du ka ne ko ya che ya che me je ka wa ti ha ko mu do. En ka wa ti ha ma shu gu lo chi ka je ji ne zhe ju je ga lo nu wa ma re zhe ju je ga chi na ne ya shibuji ni dung tangire. Ani zhe ju je ga do ma ya ni shu gu to ba na bi ye minya si si lung ba choro wa minya ranga gang si ni chi te zeng gang chi bu ju sar wa. Minya ranga gang til zeng gang prison ka so ta zeng gang chi bu ju sar wa. Ti na zeng ba de mo gu ju wa de ti do wa nge ba la shu mi zeng ba jin yin ya lo ni de chung yu sar re. mi mang che tokshi te su sapet kala me je tokshi te laga ku te mi laga mangu ku ni nge bala de thong do al bet kala sa ya che me je mi sang mo laga te langa so chu nga che chu ni kala sa ya ste me che mi mang che da na mi ngune 진이를 하이는 데 상매 시도
참 가져 쉬우나 계속
미 다 전부 베디 계주 구주 그제 있는지 유설에다 이제 지다 상매 미진이를 하는데 미 상매 다 가서를 시도한 띵안 발라 가 제주셔서 요마 제주처가 지는 개민가 주단 그래 좀 기스 주냐마데 띵은 좀난 미게 난 비게 난 친구요래 보이라 내가 나네 부르 비마 출로 비니 잘라 창마 포다 버주다선 되는 마 비샤도하
나는 키귤래
말에 나게 잘라 땅에 빨아물라 나 겨워라다 창마 잘라 인조 그런 저 개미포 군주 마 깔아서 너제를 태자tip자 애니마 베트 비제 베 컴베노는 비제 마 네네 버주다서 된들 샤도할 강에 시부 조샤다 강에 몰라래 강에 보고 망고체 강에 빼면서 강에
아무나도 돈 하사요.
요마데 컴요.
컴 레터를.
컴 데도. 컴 데는 아무라도 페이지 두두로 춘춘에 동샤. 동네기 따라라 계지티서 매체 보고 망고체 나네 마게미마 비. 비 강에 침부차 있으시대. 아무로 시주시라지는 동네로 페이지. Tading 띵은 존나 미치고 말이 다 표처서 용절이야 두고 다른 대야 상말로리야 팀이 직주 그렇다야 하스베.
So it was in 1962 the Chinese in my hometown in Lithang and the Chinese came home really late and at really late night and captured my father. For no reason, they gave no reasons for the arrest and
in Lithang.
In Lithang, yeah, and so after some days, even my mother had many children, so she didn't dare to ask any questions or she didn't protest. So even after 1 month, we had no idea. Even after 1 year, we had no idea, and people were afraid to go and ask because then again the Chinese would scold us and there would be repercussions. So. After some time we heard, after 1 year or so, we heard that there was this place called Minyang Rangkhang, which was a prison nearby.
Rangagang. Rangagang. Minya Rangagang.
Minya Rangagang.
Minya.
Rangagang.
The big prison.
It was a big prison. No. And there were all the prisoners there, like around 80 to 90 prisoners were kept as prisoners, and they were not given much food, so and they were made to work in really harsh circumstances. So except 1 or 2, most of them starved to death, including my father. And they also they evacuated us from our homes and they took most of the belongings and left my mother and all the rest of the family made to live in cow sheds with only a few utensils that we owned. And so because of all this stress, my mother died early, maybe in her early 40s, because of all this trauma and tension.
This was in 1962.
The amla chonga de chikton gugya tuchu rengi le tuchu resum.
다음에 디
Must be earlier.
하고 민도 가서 내가 잘래 찾는 것도 좀 하고 민도 디디는 디 저와요 말아 배다 디 바랄리케 배다 자가 나라 파지 저와요 말아.
I don't know about the dates because I came back to India. I was in India and we didn't have much connection.
So this is happening while she was in India. This is all happening because she went to India in 1957, right? Okay. The decision to go on pilgrimage, whose idea was that?
The neko Lhasa ne dogila na di kita sug cherta nami sugi.
Ye ashan che.
Ashan mean?
Ashan mean the 从茶上入住喷做啥？你买的不进来几十的。No.
It was made by my uncle Lodo Pinso, who now is dead.
Okay. And Aduk Gonpo Tashi, he was the uncle on your mother's side or your father's side?
Grandfather yorwa. Grandfather da Gonpo Tashi ni pachi machi na chin sare.
So granduncle.
Yeah, he was the brother of the grandfather.
Okay, so granduncle we would call that. Did you ever meet him?
Gonpo Tashi la che na.
De Dagalia tu sa.
Yeah, la khwa la tu.
Dagalia ya de Darjeeling ya.
I met him in Darjeeling.
Oh. When was that?
Khadu.
Ta khadi na ko so. I
can't remember the dates.
That's okay. What happened at that meeting?
Gonpo Tashi ni amdu ta thudu khana khanderech. Yumsta keja kame khanderech na na.
Da kuna ni mama de chin ni meberwa men ni kuna ni dui na ji wa de layer si je wa de ta England wa de shakju che so di Gonpo Tashi la ni shakju che chupje ni kuna de Darjeeling ni chong dwa didu nga simla liye simla la ani Gonpo Tashi la kuna chira nyungu dus se jenga de se le ta le gu yi gu do yi gu nye di ta ta ba yim jang nga la nyim chong ni shu ko do ha ti jo di kan ani nga pi ge le ga che sa liya Gonpo Shi nga de ja tu ga du yi Gonpo Tashi na Gonpo te ma so an ni ka je le skar gu ro she je Gonpo ma te ga de chakpa tön so chakpa na de ya ani Gonpo Tashi la sha ro sin chakpa tön di inji mo la ji da kon zo de zi ma ra no sa ke yin jang ga di ri bes kina nga di ri bes sa di ri che wa da kon do sha sa de nga tu yo ma ra kon sha la de
아니 테마지 토에 말왜?
나 테마지 딩년 테마지 투로 알아
토도 하나 간대로
다 그런 저 저도 그래 차례 먹고도 왔는데 별 파지기 상황 미타야다 이제 먹고 차례 먹고도 와서는 나도 싫다 너무 맞다 부순도 이제 상황 줄어 치는
한 아무라다 간대로 스케치 좀 아무라다 Gonpo Tashi 사람들 가리게 스케치 총이나
나 디디 간에마 데 심라다 나서 시리 군군의 심라 부수하는 피게야 Save the Children Foundation 피게 부부 지속한 저래 대양도 시리 인터넷에 봤다지 안도 비에 날아가 제 뭐 대로 하나 비에 뒤중에 우라산 얘기 대단한 버다 시준 파대 단로서 이 비에 양로 같이 내가 제대마 베베 부장녀리 DCB네 부부다 DCB 단단한 신내다 요마리 뒤뒤에서 좀 싫어로 알 주지나 아니 디네 대부 내가 좀 TV 내가 간 비게 다잉그래 피게 단디거나 피게 부뉴뉴체 최대야고체 매도도 야고체 데 촉바디기 디젠데 아니 피게 가 내가 지는 로 숨치대 피게 부뉴도 내가 체제
Well, the first when I met him, I don't know. He had a lot of other responsibilities and about sending people to Tibet and stuff. So I don't recall much, but he was the one who got me a job to Shimla to work at this sort of nursery for children, which was funded by Save the Children Foundation, and so that time in the 60s, the TCV was
62.
62.
It was just starting up.
And the TCV was not so good, and there were many poor children who were suffering from TB. So all of them were sent there, and I was working there for 3 years.
Okay.
And when the second time was I was supposed to meet, I heard from what I know he had a bullet which was lodged.
You can just check for tape the tape the content to him.
It was his torso which was stuck, so he had to go for England for surgery. And after that, when he came back to Darjeeling, and so
그는 비 메르교 슈르사 디녀브리 디네 파투산 꼬샤도안 콘도르스도 던즈는 주체네 자 된도 그런 비게 제 쳔데 상지 키스로 와서도 봐시 두셔게 봐치지 근데 때 손을 내가
So he showed me other wounds as well. There was a one bullet wound, but near his throat. But that was, you could see 2 holes from side. There were 2 scars, which was an exit wound.
Wow.
And then there was one
We were just
explosive.
talking about this, huh?
And there was this explosive which had taken off his scarf. So his scarf was also was missing. So when he came back, he was in Darjeeling, and when he was ailing, he had sent me a letter to come and visit him. But the letterman was late, 14 to 15 days late. And then I didn't also get leave from where I was working. So one day, one English lady called me and showed me in the paper, "Is this your uncle who has died?" So he had died already.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to meet him.
So she must have some
I'm crying, just nothing to do.
Yeah, you couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Of course not. So do you think that your uncle, Lodo Phunsuk, arranged this pilgrimage to get you to safety because of the activities of your granduncle put your family in danger? Do you think your uncle Lodo Phunsuk was taking you actually out of danger?
Asang Lodo Phunsuk ang yun hagogi asara kasi asang Lodo Tashi Phunsuk ingyo na a직 정말 다리도 지고로 왔다 표현하라 몰로게 제사다 낭미 창말라티스 야가나다 땅샤체도 아니 디 네고 디 사모타네 지거레 삼기도 간데레 삼기도
Yes, sambolata chita nego ngandu tunyo yo marwal. Ti gane nego leje tujen chiki warwal. Ti chidu ta kurangi ta ngandu tige chui tu stanya di testi samnu ta ta ingire samgudu. Sarasun ta kuran ma tyanga ta ma ko toyo chenne. Gemili khapdu chaga tunyerwa. Ti du ngandu nami zupige dana nami sangma gemi bet kangko ba ko shuguri. 이제 단다 삼는 단주리다. 치제는 그런게다. 다 미디게 같은다야. 그런 게 담브레 서로를 지내라 이제 튕기도다. 다 그라에 매비체, 주에 매비체, 미상만 매비체는 깔려서 그러다. 저는 부주 그게 대비는 다 공부 단당에 발랐으면디 진짜 안두장 공부 저시 진짜 럭주베 제일 심벌와다 예 발랐으면디 들이달라. 럭주브리스 심벌에. 어두제 다 단당 안주 비례비는 상은 찌라고 말해 김이 정말 주 덤지 땅 두고 쉬었다 그래. 지송장은 그런 지잖아. 진짜 선자장도 내고 땅셔를 내고 제체 아니 같은 소개별들이 먼저 땅 선장에 다 쉬고도 봐 이제 찬스.
So now in retrospect, maybe I think he had other intention. But yes, there was a good, because we had never gone on a pilgrimage also, and this was a very auspicious occasion to go for a pilgrimage as well. And but I think because our family, entire family line was at risk because of these plans, and the reason my father was put into prison was because of his family name. And they said that you were a revolutionary as well. So my uncle thought, like, if you lose all your family fortune, and if you lose all the family members, then what's the point? And if we were still there, the Chinese would skin us.
Yes.
And
who came out with you? Your uncle, Lodo Phunsuk, and yourself and your sister?
Brother. No sister.
No sister?
Sister, I have the 3 or 4 sisters. They're all on the Kham.
Oh, sorry. Yes, in Tibetan.
No, Kham li yor wal. Pinja phongu pinja shi Kham yor. Puji je Kham ji yor. Ani tanda de ngange jujo ji yor. Jengbu.
Chushi.
Jujo paji maji.
So who came with her on?
참마다 수수요. 빙자 직체.
No, pinja ashan che.
아상체.
Pinja puji maji ji che. Tini nganzugi ya pinja desu dunya ji ya pola ji yor. Nganzu digi de tu san ne wa chimban.
Mishi.
No.
So there was I had my elder brother.
Okay.
Yeah. My real brother and my uncle, and this older gentleman who was also related to us.
Okay, so a very small group actually. Can you tell us about your preparations for that journey?
아마도 얘네들이 다 하산한테 야갈리도 하나 어디 걸 다나 다디 간데레스나야나.
해선에 주
하산에 주 야가 연도 다디 간데.
How did you prepare?
다디 간데레스나야나.
나 디지 간에 랍다 예와 랍다 예베 간데리아 예 Angali Michi Tanjang, Lapin, Kumbushuka Tanshan, Haguamala, Kumbushun Kawati, Haguamarala. Tading Chapter Jimajamendo, the guys. Any Kumbushin, Kankada, Dania water is. In Lamsanta, Tula, Kang, Ramuchin, and Zukangalia, Chempula, Moguchi, Yoguchi, Gucci, and Chempula Kanga, and net Tula Kanatin to Chempulachi. Isn't it Jimmy motor led one? Motor Jimmy motor left, and the Tibet, Shasma Bato.
Call Bado?
Shasma, Shasma.
Shasma.
Yardon Sachi, Lutak,
Yardum.
Yardon Sachi, Shasma. Yadi, Tomo, Timonetary. Tila Ducan, Tangan do my touching butching your that next into Kalesh, which on Talangal, pay at Timigi, Shasima, but the Kawaki, Lacha Shasim, but the Shazan never done Mangudoa. Then they began Karsa. Kama says the grand to such a son with Tibetan said it. They are an motor car and the car and motor door to see me. Nimaka jelly to the castle on Tuba. They got you can anyone to draw you, the Java motor car getting the Chata and you to any cannot want to carry road to your mother said, and this is Mikashi Jari just want to CGT, what than the layer. They cut to do the just study to just see you say. They call out of the Jun to Rachiamada, Chunchi Amada. Modella Chakwe to lawyer Mare, the name of the Ushata. That the name of the never teach any casa. Thomas is at the Nepal, Mizant in Degit, that date in Degit, that tabla tune, meat and Tobun, the own, control Darjeeling, and Penapa, Tromo the K water. Or India Girasona, Anzone. That did turn a young Jimmy Motor, that did want to care your marriage, and they pick a chance about the care or you care. They didn't do beyond your study to know you don't to nurses this punch. So that in the town, she which no she had never tongue. Betkal, can't she would thank it. Did you come with your tan? Muscle Shamur to my conscience to come. The long body didn't my tack by chance, and tack by chance. The she is something on the canny. Chicha, did this young jet. Collect, collect to this young jet, and she has my lesson. Pay Tomul lesson, Tomul. Tumulia di Tadimula Junior di Mizandi, me, Kunapala, Horan, Zan, Kuranzumi, or the Chimburisha, Pala, Horan, be tabla get drunk with wa. But the Ande Shasman and Shasman and Ma. They of the Casa, Kando Junior. And tell our lesson. Give me all this, said the Langa Chava, the care on the tap, and the very.
So, I was not aware of the plans. I was at school. Uncle suddenly came and took leave from the school. I didn't know anything about it. I think it was he was being kept a secret. Then after that, we offered butter lamps to all the temples and gave offerings.
Yeah.
And we had hired a Chinese vehicle to go to Yadong. Then there were many Tibetans along who were coming with us. But then we reached Khama. There was a lot of snow. And the car took a break and he refused to go on. And many Tibetans were fighting with the Chinese drivers that many other vehicles were going with. The Indian vehicles were coming from that side with chains on the tires. But why is he not doing the same thing? And he had taken all the money which was promised to him, which was he had to, and he
just it on other things.
He just left us there, so halfway. But at Thomo there was this Pala who was he had a lot of horse carriages and horses. So we paid so we paid him and he helped us to cross all on horseback, all the things and all these things they were carrying. And when we reached Thomo, there was a big plain, it was very cold and there was so much snowfall. And we were wearing all caps and but still our breath from our mouths would create snow sort of ice
was that
near our chin.
Snow
Snow was falling.
Where is this? This on the Changtang?
tuna sidu, tuna tang, di tangu yorsa.
Tuna. And like it
Where-
was
where
very
is
cold.
Tibetan place now, re.
Tuna quiet.
Do you know-
Sang ke ju tibala yisri tuna.
Sang.
Sang tibala. Kamane chu
In Western Tibet.
tuna sidi leg do. Tanga shira yu me di.
Tsang.
In Western Tibet.
She doesn't know for
Tibetan
sure.
place.
Okay.
And
dine no dine yongja no thomol le do ani kya nan shi de sha ya pe chawa de se yunye ani shin kanga ngombu chen bu de se se ya nam shi chobu do de sha bu ji te dine ma kando kyuni yo berta de le.
so then after crossing the plains, we reached Thomo, which was like India. There was plains, it was the sort of hot and there were green vegetation. So after that, from there we reached Gangdrug and then we came to India.
So she came through to Sikkim.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's where they crossed. Okay, so we've established that she came through the Sikkim border, Tibet-Sikkim border, and I think that border must have been closed. I want to check when that border became impossible, because not many people came through that border. But this was 1957, so this is before it really got hot. What do you remember taking with you? Do you remember taking anything with you personally?
I'm not so nyamdo khares the chala khari kes kyun de.
Anything, any personal item?
Kege kime
So jalati mixed do khari kyun be.
ke kime
Nothing.
Nothing.
ran kel tayaran ta chi yor wa chi
Kidu do.
shirun de da sin de di ma do shamba ke ji.
Nothing. I had just one thing to like this necklace, turquoise necklace which I brought.
And that's it.
No, ani chida chala ju tadi ki do warwan.
The other was carried by mules.
No.
It was carried by mules. Okay. And what happened when you reached the border and you met the Indian authorities? What happened there?
Amla the sanjamle chane gyaga gita shung mi thu da khandero cheso.
Kya shun ke mi se ke tamdani ke chema so
Sikkim ne kharching mun do.
ke chema so ke anjuma
Keja do she.
nim june di chi wara ke tan kya baral chongde je ta de mang ru wara ye jinte ke nyodo ke mi do.
There was no problem because there was already a very established trade route through that area, so there was no problem.
You just came through easily. Oh, okay. And what happened next?
Amla di chela khare chesta. Gyaga le chane.
Chale chane ngandu de kalembun de so kalembun de ngana agu yore asha yore jojo yore ani kipinja te do ni pora kengo chore tiche ngandu ye kalembun ya ta chiru chi chaje de so no.
With all the people we stayed in Kalimpong,
Okay.
just close to Darjeeling.
Yeah.
Darjeeling tanya borita no. Ye anga Gonpo Tashi Andrugtsang yang chale mangbudu shi ji yang pa phele ya saw mi ta
They do kan nyamdo Gonpo Tashi
Gonpo Tashi nimdo yo mare di
Yo marwa.
Gonpo Tashi ngazo yimdo phele ya bi temi de ma kebe ga de ba ma hisare
Ale.
shugo kundu shugo chu kundu chi dal chi dendi shi chara jule ani pene masumare sisitene le do ha chi jan.
Assam ne. So, and I heard Gonpo Tashi had a lot of plans, like planning his there and.
Kham ngol ma yoro ke kham ngol
But she
dem
didn't
fighting
at
chi
that
wara.
time.
No, he was there back in Tibet. That time the fighting was going
Okay.
on,
Yeah.
and he came much after
Much
when
later.
His Holiness came to India.
So that's when she learned about what he was
Yeah.
doing.
And he
with the
came
Chushi
to
country.
Misawari, which was through Assam.
Okay. Okay. So and the pilgrimage? You did go on the pilgrimage?
Ne amga ne gyaga yung ne ko de dorwa. Ne ko de dorwa.
Dore.
Yeah.
Nego chi budugaya chi bi Varanasi chi bi Samjo chung chi bi ani khabare numbune chi bi lejin shit chi bi.
Yes, after that I went to all the 4 Buddhist pilgrimage sites.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Can you tell us what that was like?
Amga ne ko la khare chin deshi kyanana.
Nego didu kana nganzo guta kya shung didu really la chen chaga chaga re do ati tuje ro ati tamba punyang ne de lo ni donga de ki tuje so da really la chen chaga chaga re do ana. 내가 진짜 간도 가서다 뭐는다 개비데 체 네 누제야 도 자치 뭐라는다 근데 소소소다 뭐는다 개다 아디두지 파마도 가르치면 하시라고 아무라도 이것도만 파마도 좀지 나 참아용는데 뭐는다 개체를 제대로 지투도 투야 용어서 근데 뭐는다 개네 도도 근데 뭐는다 개체대
Since it was a big ceremony that time going on, and so the Indian government had made the railway tickets at half price. So and thinking about it, I just because I was really worried about my parents and parents' well-being.
So much on the mind.
So I just prayed about them.
Okay.
My family.
And at what point was it explained to you that you really could not go back to Tibet?
아마 다 야갈레도 하나 다 야갈레네 다 내고도 치더라. 아니 카드레스 라손 기타 페라랑자 되라기 말해도 수일라스.
그는 저거야 말해서 미장말로 capel 발 저거 돼야 저게도 그래. 요 말해서 별 돼야 말해서니 저 거마송에 이사면 당도 로카시는 별 돼야 그래서 미장말로 뒤로 제기도 별 돼야 그래서.
Most of the people, nobody talked about staying there. Nobody talked about not going back to. Everybody really believed that they would be going back to Tibet in a few years.
Eventually, a few years.
In a few years.
And when you met Gonpo Tashi, was it just one time you met him, or was it more than one time?
Only once.
Only once.
No.
Do you remember anything he said to you?
No, Gonpo Tashi lagi sungyoende.
Really nothing at all. Okay. What was your impression of India?
아마다 자갈레네 다 냠뇽 사와 더라다 사자 사와라. 간데 더스다 냠뇽 용스다. 아니 자가 데네 촌랑 간데 더스레스다.
자갈레는 당한도 표현만 저지 잠빌린 통제다 퇴자 첨부. 내주 잠만다 거야 여봐. 야 강가로치 디르시도 왔다. 지 농군데 말이지. 내주 잠만다 배는 차선도 다 디는 디르케서 표현할래 내주 가르치고 유면도 내주도 남산 고요리 제가 이제 냠뇽톤에 다 퇴제 전주 친구로 차르고 내 상관없이 고요리지.
It was sort of very different from Tibetan and from what it used to be in Tibet, and we had so much access, so you feel like a little bit more like sort of enlightened and more informed. You could even about what was happening in Tibet, you could hear about it instantly.
Oh, really? So you were getting lots of information about what was happening back home?
TV나 생주 망고 kunga Tibet voice America radio appreciate in the
everything, even on TV we had RFA and Voice of America, everybody was active.
When you heard about the activities of your great uncle Gonpo Tashi, were you amazed to learn what he was doing?
아무나다 고무다실라기 때문에 차례 낭데 주식한다도 사먹고라니 아무나 항상 소에 간데랬다.
항상 소 그런 다 니들씩 그런 소 타야 디페면서 야구를 했음도 재미다가라지 몸이 먼저 가지고 차야시라 요 말와 재미군들라 제 돈에 있네 간지 돈에 미망주 돈에 있네 디데기네 그런 말 때문에 타베리 나베 항상 소소라나 때문에.
So yes, I was very amazed actually, and he could also escape. It was not possible to fight, but he did, and he also escaped.
And I'm thinking you must have felt very helpless though, because of what was happening to your family. It must have been a very difficult time for you.
아무나다 낭미 상마 벼에다 감나나다 냥데로와 아무나다 여ညom this semba도 교육이래.
그 가서래 선배교였으니까 상마 딘디르지 상부도 배나래야 미상말로 말한 지고 말했는 미상말로 이지다 딱 파마니 노춘주네다 나 토요 말하는 선배도 교도 있나야다 나 지고 말에 배쳐가 숨나래야 데미 두고 단다르다 상로 지구를 시다대요라 내가 신 미셈벌에 딘데 중요로 삼사르지 딘데 돈에 내가 선배시라 누구스 민도 창말로 또 그냥 집으로 냥도 와다.
Yes.
노치들 체션은
At a small age and being separated from parents, I felt really sad. But to think about it, I think the Chinese were making people from all the 3 provinces of Tibet suffer. So I think I was not alone in that, and that's why I thought like it was better to be brave rather than think about anything else.
And how is your life these days? Are you quite happy?
I'm not thinking so. I'm just going to do. So I'm very sort of happy here, and I just chant my prayers, and since I've attended so many religious talks by His Holiness the Dalai Lama and all his talks of spirituality on Buddhism. So I try to think about whatever he says and tries to process that, and which actually gives you a sort of peace of mind, and makes you happy.
Okay.
This so the teachers to correct. That Sunday Chishung around Kiritono Tone can you came into the Sunday Chishung and the Puna net and to call the be similar to Sunata. That a near Charlie and me no Chinju, no Sunju so ranchi, so Subuli Medan and this is tomb deep and messy and the Pambu Shuish to do. And pay same day to Spuna, Neta, is not Puna, Tata Chambuta. And he gave me Tamdash, which she between the Kangalo. That and the purge in image temperature, Jangle which you can shave and I think in imaging on the temperature sagre, something raw kept it dead the years or another. This seems you to do that when
I am not worried much about my well-being because I am satisfied. But what I am worried about is the tragic turn of events which are happening in Tibet, and young people who are not even 30 and about 30 are dying, and the situation. The Chinese have such a repressive and brutal regime in Tibet, and so I keep thinking about the suffering in Tibet, and I do keep believing that the path that His Holiness has chosen for us will lead us back to Tibet. So,
what do you think about the self-immolations?
Amla ta unde ta phena na rangso le na tanges twa ta ambush twa ta di kola khare samsu tu ta chonang do
ta ngare chona chennan ni jitang khran zu ta khayo mares kare da temilia ta ya thangbu chene tim thona do so yo mare keji shen do so yo mare ni shi byun do so yo mare ka ke chi su chune ke ge me che de na lo le ta ji gumba dan den zu na le ka so le ta 계급리야 집이 계지 거사지 취지 니지 제고로서는 이제 세제다 잡아든 좀 뜬이 단데 기디 차샤는 잡아 동다 가셔 요르다 는 잡아 상마마 디첸 잡은 수세나리야 게미 뭐미다 또 누구 먹고난 야 계지 세서 주는 요 말와다 미디간 콘주베 티 우투는 다 가르쳐 오나 섬다 아주 우투니 안 콘주 수수 수어든 lö지 땅비나 아니 디 점링게 텐덴치 다다치 야고 중그를 탑다 야고 저 투르신 개미니 준에다 구조 준제고 미도스 이제 이 군주 우투르스 제 인데 체브르 상부투스 이제 나 개미 원에 차샤나 먼저 미 숨주 무동다 시비네 그도 가부치르면서 그도 도나체 지마래 변에 차샤나 그 노춘주도 인데 전부 다 변무스 있는 방법 쉬우시 통구도 손도 지단 그런 좀 계지 문에 계급도야 잠깐 제배 시부지하고 레디 이내야 당은 좀 미치기네 돌아치 비네 방법으로 알 근데 이거는 방법도 손으로 내셔봐
generally I think they are not at fault because there is no other way. There is no legitimate way to engage the Chinese authorities. You can't talk to them. You can't go through the legitimate way. You can't process them through the legal way. And especially in monasteries, and especially such as Kirti, where the monks are being not able to continue the daily routine, and they are being extracted and removed from the monasteries, and Chinese are put there. And so I think their sort of self-sacrifice will create a sort of publicity. Publicity is not the right word. More attention, awareness and attention in globally. I think they are the main point is they are very desperate. And to think about it from the Chinese point of view, I think even if 1,000 die, the Chinese will not care about it, and they will be more happy. So even though I feel very regretful, and I feel very appalled, because even if one young person dies, even though it is a very courageous and a sort of selfless act, but even losing one young life is sad for us.
Yes. I just wanted to ask you, I was a bit surprised that young Tibetans in exile are not taught about modern Tibetan history. They're not taught about the deeds of Gonpo Tashi and Chushi Gangdrug. They're not taught this in school. Does that concern you at all? Do you feel a little bit regret that the young Tibetans are not learning about these events?
I'm like the samsula the candidates to things that anzo lobtra khala mende ta anzo ta phegi lugu labdo khat anzo ta anzo ta molo gyage ta phemune shukchembo ende garwata am like ta asang ina re ane ta chezando chushi khando de kolla themna la khajin chigo mare samgidu tikola khari chonando
ta di devdina le yawo
shunge lab gora denzo kolla
di devtone yawo ji sha thu memero ta 치제도 아무래도 반에 대표는 용기시기로 하지 디나리아 공부지 거를 때때 등기스 있는데 이 고승에 심어도는도 베비다는 미세기 누주른데
말에 로규다 되어라 말에 뭐랑이 신나니까 롭뎁 나나 고레스 말에 같이니요 말이데
다디 자리스네야 그런 폴리시 유주라다 근데 뭔부지야 요래다 근데 지기고지 근데 뭔부 요라다 디서는 그런 된다를 지는데 유주르지 샤모지데.
There are many books coming in from America in English, but not many in Tibetan. And apart from them, in school books, maybe it's because of some policy. I don't know. There are many policy at work.
Well, thank you so much. It's been so interesting to talk to you. And I think we need to ask you one more time how you feel about what you said in the interview, and if we can use it to put online.
I'm not Tibet Thomas the young kids the his demo gave the park gave some the pure Ganan to Namlo Kangi Yomarwa.
Can you get your something?
No.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. No. We have a small gift.
Thank you, Kashuranga. Get your pang dibuta in the Yaw Shira Chuma Sonsorana. Yavuji, tried to put the Kasoda. In it, to get the talk with the Memata in Pasharana, spent told on yet teacher on us.
I was not able to articulate it well chronologically, so if it's helpful, use it. If it's not helpful, don't use it.
Okay, thank you so much. It was very helpful. Definitely. I learned a lot. Definitely. Yeah.
I'm